Welcome to We Talk. My name is Dakasi. I will be your host for today's discussion. And let's meet our guests du jour. So if every person could just take a brief moment to introduce themselves, starting with Khadija.
Hi guys, my name is Khadija Sila. I'm from New York City and I'm happy to be here.
Welcome. Miriam.
Hi, my name is Miriam. I'm from New York City as well. And I can't wait to get started.
Okay, New York represent. Welcome, Miriam. Shek.
Hi, Sheikh Omar Dakate. Where am I from again? Africa, I guess. Yep, West Africa.
Okay, bienvenue, Shek. Welcome. And last but not least, Jamila.
Hi, everyone. I am from Maryland, I guess.
You guess? Okay, welcome. Awesome. Round of applause for all of our guests. Thanks so much for joining us. And I cannot wait to get started in this topic. So the topic of discussion for today is something that has to do with pop culture, right? And I'm sure everyone's going to understand it as soon as I said it. So basically, the topic is cancel culture effective or toxic? So I hope you guys are ready because we gonna be talking. I hope you guys caught that. So I'm just.
What was pew 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 pew?
I hope you caught that.
Pew 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 pew. You had me scared.
Because
Oh, she was shooting guns in there.
He shot Meg the Stallion, and now he's canceled. Wow. Okay, goodbye. Who wants to start?
Well, you started already, huh?
Yeah, I did, and he is canceled in my book.
Yeah, he's done. I can see that.
I mean, Tory Lanez was already canceled before the shooting, so no offense.
He was?
He
To me.
He spilled the tea.
I don't feel like he was part of. I don't think he was part of the whole entire group of the top of the top, because I don't feel like his music was out there. It was one or two songs every 2 year or every 3 year. I don't think his game was that good. But looking like
his latest album. I like his music.
Wait, he's canceled.
What does it mean to cancel?
What does it mean to cancel? That's a good question. Who wants to take that one?
Well, I feel like when we say artists are canceled, it's like they're no longer relevant. Like, in a way, they're banished from the pop culture group, if that makes sense. Like, their music is no longer relevant. People don't no longer relate to them because they did something that was completely out of the norm for someone who is part of that group, and it's like, bye.
Yeah, I would say it's like boycotting. If someone does something that you may not agree with, and then you cancel them. Like, I'm not playing your music, I'm not supporting you, I'm not going to your concert, I'm not streaming, nothing. Like, you are not getting $1 out of me.
Right.
I'm not supporting you in any kind. That's what it means when you are canceled.
Then I guess I cancel a lot of artists.
Oh, word. Oh. And do you think that's effective or toxic?
For me, it's effective because I see that music is not just it's not just sounds that you play in the background. It affects who you are as a person. It adds on to your personality, and it also shapes you in society. And I feel like the type of music you listen to in a way defines who you are, because you try to assimilate to what you listen to. You're like, oh, this is the new cool thing. This is this and that, and I want to be like that. And it's like, I don't want to put myself in a situation where it's going to be toxic for me. Therefore, I'll cancel you. It's not toxic for me. It's very accommodating to me because I don't listen to you. I don't really care for you. It's not like without you, I won't live. And I like to listen to either artists who are doing something good within their realm, and I know like artists who are also talented. Don't come for me, but like I feel like Beyonce is somewhat canceled.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Well, I'm gonna move to Shaq with that. That's big. Shaq,
I'm here. I haven't left.
Yeah. Being in that industry, entertainment industry, what are your thoughts on the whole cancel culture?
My thought on the whole cancel culture. First thing first, you can only cancel the people that you can cancel.
What do you mean?
Because how do you say it again? You can only cancel somebody that is not independent. You can only cancel somebody that needs their boss or their management team to be happy with their representation outside of their own control.
Okay.
Because when you deal with somebody independent, like let's say, who's a good example? Joe Rogan. He's a podcaster. I don't know if anybody knows him, but he's been canceled zillions of times. But he got the first, no, not even the first, he got the best and the most listened podcast in the world. He got over 90 millions of downloads every month. People tried to cancel him zillions of times. It never worked. And the reason why it never worked, because he's independent from top to bottom. He owns his own network, he owns his own IP, and he owns his own marketing team. And that changes a lot of things when it comes to the business of being canceled or not. Because you can only be canceled when, first thing first, you lose your audience, like your audience wants to cancel you, that's already a problem. And now when your bosses or your owners decide to kick you out of the team, you're done. But when you're independent and your audience is here for the shit, I don't think you're cancelable.
Okay, that's a fair thought. Miriam?
Yeah, just to echo somewhat of what Sheck said, I somewhat agree with him. Honestly, I think this whole cancel culture, which I've never given much thought to this whole cancel culture until today, but now that I think about it, it's somewhat irrelevant, because people could sit on social media and comment all day and say, this person's canceled. Like, how many times have they canceled Kanye? But every time he comes out with a new Yeezy, they sell out. So, you can sit there and be like, he's canceled. But anytime he does something, it becomes a viral moment. Every time he drops sneakers, it sells out. When he drops a clothing line, it sells out. Like, I'm thinking more so when it comes to canceling celebrities. Remember when, everybody remembers when Chris Brown had that whole incident with Rihanna. People canceled him, but it doesn't matter what people say. It mattered for the people who are at the top with him. He was blackballed. He literally couldn't go to award shows. The people wouldn't interview him. Artists wouldn't collaborate with him. Now, I think that's where it really hits them, like hits them in their pockets. Like, I think that's when it could become relevant. Because just for us to say that, they're canceled, like people say on social media and say somebody's canceled, I don't think it's really that effective. I think it's more so effective when people that's within their realm and their community cancels them. Like, that's when they really start to feel it. Like, as far as like Tory Lanez, he's canceled. He might just be canceled for real, because that's not just from, regular people saying that he's canceled. That's people from the industry saying that he's canceled as well. So artists are already dropping him off of their songs. People are probably not going to want to work with him for a long time. I mean, he may even get deported and not be able to tour in the US. So that might really be like canceled.
Deported?
He's from Canada.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
You really fumbled the bag there.
Yeah. So that might be real cancellation. But as far as like, sometimes I see that people were saying Doja Cat is canceled, but I never really listened to her music anyway. But you'd be surprised. I mean, just because you see people on the Shade Room or other social media platforms saying that they're canceled doesn't mean, there's a whole nother audience out there who we know nothing about, who are still listening to her music every day. Just like there's people out there who still listen to R. Kelly. So,
Yep.
He's canceled in my book, and I've been saying that since forever. But anyways, so if I'm understanding correctly, Sheck's point and your point, you're basically saying that the audience, like the consumers, us regular people, our say in canceling someone isn't that
I don't think it's
effective or impactful.
I think it would be impactful if people actually stuck to it. And, if people didn't just say it just to say it, but then, still play his music here and there, because those streams, that means money for the artist. So if people were really to rally and, do what they say, I think it would be effective. But for the most part, I mean, there may be like, people like us here on this Zoom chat who may never play his music again. But for the most part, I think we don't really have a say in it. I think it takes people that's within, their realm to cancel them. Like, if he could no longer go to the VMAs or the Grammys or whatever big award show is out there, like, that's real cancellation. Like, that's being blackballed. But as far as just, people sitting on social media be like, yeah, you cancel. All right. And,
Interesting. Khadija, what are your thoughts?
So I think cancel culture can be effective. It's just a matter of getting everyone on the same page. So I feel like the problem is, like, I think fans do play a role, I just feel like usually we're not in unison. So like we don't all like we say we might cancel, but we don't actually all cancel. But Mariam is also like correct in the sense of like their peers probably hit them bigger, like because I feel like so I think the way fans would imagine it happening is that we cancel them, and then because they're not making money from us, their peers start dropping them, like the music, like their managers and whatnot, and then their peers, I don't know, like they just I don't know what they expect their peers to do. But I think the point that Mariam is making is that like enough of us don't do that, so like that doesn't matter if the fans do it. It's just like directly from the managers or people that they're working with that should drop them immediately.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Hey, Jordan, I see you joined us. I don't know if you heard the conversation in the beginning, but what are your thoughts on the whole cancel culture? Is it toxic? Is it effective?
First of all, thank you for asking me the question. Hi to everyone. Big caught off
What's up,
guard.
Jordan?
I think I think cancel culture can be effective if used appropriately. I think a lot of times it's an impulsive reaction to something that happens, and it doesn't like have a long lasting impact, like Miriam said. But I mean, I do think with social media and the World Wide Web and everybody being connected and being able to cancel these artists in unison, it does give us power as consumers, power that we didn't necessarily have before. And I do think it's been effective in different cases. But these artists do tend to come back even after they've been canceled, which is what I've noticed. I mean, I think we canceled Chris Brown at a
Yeah, we
point.
did. Yeah, we did.
But Chris Brown is back on the map. We welcomed him back with open arms. And I would foresee the same thing probably happening with Tory Lanez, if I'm being honest. Everybody can say, I'm not going to listen to his music now, but 3-4 years from now, when everything dies down, I mean, he makes great music. Are you really going to feel the same way? And do we separate the artist from their actions? Is that fair to do? Is it okay for me to appreciate the art without holding him accountable for something that he did outside of the studio? I think these are all fair questions. When I was working with students, we had a showcase for the parents, and the students were dancing to Michael Jackson, and I thought that was kind of that was a little risque. I mean, in what situations do we want to start, holding people accountable for things they might have done outside of their their professional industry? So I don't know. It's always tough for me. It's a tough question.
Yeah, no, I get it. There's an important point you brought up. Can you dissociate the art from the artist? And that's actually like conversations I've had with so many different people. And I guess my personal views on that is that like you can't, because art is, I believe it's a direct translation of a person's, soul, a person's value, a person's action. It all feeds into that artwork. It comes from them. So it obviously has influences from their actions, their beliefs, their thought pattern, all that stuff. So if you don't agree with certain actions that an artist is making or a person is making, how can you truly appreciate their byproduct, like their art? At least that's how I'm seeing it. So if I'm canceling you, I'm not playing your music. I'm not going to your show. Shit, I'm not eating your food. Shout out to Paula Deen. We don't eat your food no more. Cookbook, like, you know what I mean? So.
Well, what if the artist has the ability to capture a specific emotion that doesn't necessarily represent who they are in their entirety? You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a person who is a serial murderer, but I make a song about being happy and loving my life, I mean, someone could take that music and because art is always open for interpretation. I mean, in a lot of cases, whether it be paintings, music, poetry, whatever it may be. So I'm still very cautious about not separating the art from the artist, because everybody has skeletons in their closet, and nobody's perfect. And if we're gonna play that game, I mean, I don't know whose music it really is safe to listen to.
That is fair. That's fair. And that brings on a question I wanted to ask the group here. In terms of cancel culture, the one thing that a lot of people keep bringing up, especially people who are against it, is doesn't everyone deserve a second chance? At what point are you like, you know what? Okay, I guess, you're uncanceled or whatever. Or at what point you're like, nah, this is like it. I'll direct this question. I'll direct it to Jamila.
Okay.
I feel like in certain situations you can be like, oh, it's okay, I can let it slide. But I also feel like with letting it slide, there's that possibility of them doing something even bigger than that the next time. With the thought in mind that they're gonna let it slide this time again. So I don't feel like there should be like, oh, you did something minor. Oh, you did something. Like, you need to be held accountable for it. And it's like, I'm a just sidetrack for a little. It's like how the justice system works. You're found with possession. You can probably have life in prison if you're African American. So why does artists get a slap on the wrist when they do something slight just because they're artists? And I feel like at the same time, it's like, oh, it's something slight. You're good. You're good to go. No, you did something. It's not slight because there are bigger repercussions to what you did. It might be something slight, but it might cost someone life down the road. So I feel like, yes, you can let it slide, but if you let it slide, tomorrow they're going to come and they're like, oh, sorry, I killed someone. They're like, oh, it's okay. I let it slide again because I let it slide the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Miriam, what are your thoughts on this question?
I don't know. It depends on the severity of what the person has done. Like, as far as Tory Lanez, I mean, damn, you shot her. Like, I don't know. How could you give somebody like that a second chance? Like, I don't know what Jordan's about to say, but if you're about to say we don't really know that he shot her, I don't know. If he didn't shoot her, he would have spoken up by now. He would have said something by now. Like, he would have been like, what you talking about? I never shot your ass, but come on, he's been quiet. It's been over a month. Like, he shot the girl. Like, damn, like, I don't know how that's forgivable.
Mm-hmm.
I want to interject if I can. I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Go ahead.
I was listening to a TED Talk about when I forgot who Rick Ross had a advertisement deal with, but they terminated the contract after he alluded to date rape in one of his rap songs, right? And a lot of people applauded the corporation for doing that. But what the presenter at the TED Talk brought up was, how is it that, they terminate his contract for alluding to date rape when he spends the majority of his time rapping about acts of violence against other Black males, right? So with Tory Lanez, I mean, the man can rap and make music about, gun violence, shooting at men, doing, like, this is the lifestyle he portrays as an artist. So why is it that when he fires a gun, as someone who isn't if it isn't a Black male, now he's canceled? You know what I'm saying? I think that's very, I don't know how to feel about that. And I would like to hear other people's opinions on that, because if he would have shot a guy, would we cancel him?
I would hope so.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
is your issue with the fact that, like, you feel like there's some hypocrisy with the treatment of different sexes, or what? I'm not sure.
Just that. I mean, I just think like this is the lifestyle he portrays. Like,
yeah, but including if that's the lifestyle he portrays, we didn't sign up to listen to a lifestyle where he talks about violence against women. He's never rapped about violence against women. So that's not something we signed up for when we listen to his music. If he's rapping about violence against men, that's something we signed up for. So maybe if he shot a nigga, we wouldn't be so surprised, because, we was down with you when we would listen to your music. That's not logical. The case, though. He's changing up on us. It's fair for us to be like, yeah, we're not fucking with you no more, because that's not how you portrayed yourself to begin with.
Yeah, you say you're going to shoot
niggas. That's just the first issue with
and
that's just the first issue with the point that you raised up. I don't have energy to go into the other issues.
No, get energy. I'll send you data. Go ahead.
Please.
Let's go.
I feel like I don't know how to, like, it's just kind of like, at this point in time, it should be evident that, like, as Black women, we are the most unprotected. So it makes sense that we would cause uproar when the most the underdog of the underdog is getting bullied or attacked or anything like that. Why would you? It's like kind of like you checking privileges. Like there's other people that probably can fight for males. However, when it comes to women, like it's just kind of like you're gonna just, it's like somewhere, it's like an adult and a child. Like the child is unprotected. Speak up. You don't wait.
Yeah. Agreed. Shek, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on this one is simple, because the subject started from like y'all started it, cancel culture, and now we got to Tory Lanez, and that Tory Lanez subject is really delicate. Not really, to be honest, it's not that delicate of a subject if you're not part of it or if you're not in court, because it's simple. He shot somebody and he should pay for the price.
Yeah.
That's it. And now when you go through the details, he shot a woman. That's worse, because whatever happened, if she didn't handle a gun towards you or a knife or something like that, I don't see any justification. If your life wasn't threatened, I don't see any justification for you shooting a gun to anybody, and on top of that, a woman. And worse, supposedly your girlfriend. That's a lot of problems. That's like a lot of problems, and he should pay for that. That's where I stand.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I think just going back real quickly on the cancel culture thing, I feel like the cancel culture is the best way to expose people who are hypocrites. I feel like it's this thing now where there's always a bandwagon with it, even if you don't know what the fuck happens with like the Tory Lanez situation or other celebrities, H&M, Gucci, all those people that allegedly are canceled. You're just gonna jump on it because society, or I guess your environment you're in, says they're canceled, but low-key you still fuck with them like under TL. You know what I mean? So I feel like it definitely exposes people's hypocrisy. My sense on it is, if you're truly not feeling in your heart that someone's canceled, and if you know you're not gonna be able to stick it out, don't say the person's canceled. Don't say, I don't know, what do you guys think of that? Do you think it exposes people's hypocrisy, or people are allowed to change their mind?
I feel like that depends on the severity of what they did to be canceled. But at the same time, it also exposes people. And at the same time, we're human, we're not perfect. We also have the ability of, changing our mind whenever we find that there is, this and this fact was a little bit more clear now, so I have more information, therefore I rather change my standpoint on this. But at the same time, it's like, if it's something that is wrong, it is wrong. For example, the H&M whole entire thing, it had to go through multiple people before it went up on their website. Mm-hmm. Somebody had to see it. Somebody had to say something about it. But I also feel like as companies and celebrities, in a way, it is a way to make a name for themselves. This is a publicity stunt, and they get out there. It's a publicity stunt, and it brings more customer, whether bad or good. And someone always said that attention is always good, whether bad or good, because your name is going to get out there. And the more your name gets out there, somebody's bound to come back with that bad attention. They're going to come in, oh, you actually have some good stuff, I'm going to buy it. Or you actually have some good music, I'm going to stream it. So it's like, we try to stick with this cancel culture, but it really doesn't work, because there's going to be that 1% of the 1% who's always going to want to go back and be like, oh, they didn't do something that bad.
Mm-hmm.
H&M still makes money even through the pandemic. How do you explain that?
Mm-hmm.
On sale over there.
You what?
So everything is on sale when you go to H&M.
Yeah, exactly.
They haven't filed yet.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I said they haven't filed bankruptcy yet.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Right.
I just want to play a quick exercise. This is actually for my own curiosity. If everyone could just, if you're not on camera, come on camera quickly. I just want to, and just simply raise your hand. I'm going to say the name of companies or people that have been canceled, and let me know if you truly do not support them, or can't, like, you don't consume their products. Raise your hand. If you still consume their products, listen to their music, or what in any way, shape, or form, don't raise your hand. Okay. So it's just going to be a brief list, but first one was actually H&M on the list. So raise your hand if you've truly canceled H&M. Okay, I'm gonna raise my hand because I don't shop H&M anymore. Next one is Kanye West.
I was never a fan to begin with.
You were okay.
Also, I feel like who actually said they were going to cancel them and then who canceled them?
That's true. That's a
I've
good.
never canceled him.
You've never canceled him?
Nah.
Okay.
He's crazy.
I think,
I like crazy.
has anyone canceled him before and uncanceled him? No? Okay. Dove.
Who?
Dove. Soap company.
Oh, the soap.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like a random bird?
Oh, yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
Dove.
I know birds.
Oh, Dove is in my bathroom right now. I buy that
Yeah,
shit.
me too. I still shop there.
Oh,
Word.
Yeah, much. Yeah. I love
mean-
Dove. I can't lie.
Okay.
Your dog got nice moisturizers for your beard.
And to be honest, until she brought up the H&M thing and even Dove, I had even forgotten about what they did. Like, I can't keep up. There's a lot of shit.
That's the life we live in.
Okay.
I don't even know what Dove did.
Like, I gotta keep this
Dove,
freaking-
honestly, with that one, I'll tell you offline, but like it was something very.
Yeah, the little boy with the monkey shirt.
No, that's H&M. Dove is basically that's the black woman taking off her shirt and turning white, and people are like, "You're basically saying that being white is better. You're whitewash, anyways." That was a whole mess.
Vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it wasn't. Personally, to me, it was not that deep, but I understand why people were upset.
And
Okay,
one thing
next
with these
person.
brands,
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't listen to Chris Brown anymore?
No. But like
Oh.
also his songs are not like his songs weren't bad. But
Really?
if
I
they
think
were
good,
still
they're good.
good. No, I like his like 2003 songs. But if
Mhm.
they were good, I would still cancel them.
Oh wow, interesting.
I
Okay,
respect that.
I don't know if you guys are gonna know this person, but Azalea Banks, she seems really relevant to me.
I never listened to her music, so I can't
Yeah.
cancel her.
Never-
Yeah.
Like she was, I don't know. Her music is not entertaining, but her persona is
Antiques. Who?
entertaining because she's just on social media, just entertaining people.
Just bullying everybody.
so
Wow. Okay, second to last person, Trey Songz.
that's
I don't
That's-
listen to his music like
What
Okay.
did he do again? What did he do?
beat
What
on
did
people?
you do?
what didn't he do?
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
Wait,
Wow. Interesting.
that was
okay.
all.
Go ahead.
What about Nivea?
Oh, sure. Ask about it. Nivea.
What did Nivea do?
Damn.
What did
How
Nivea?
about the
In Africa, they did a
Cream.
commercial
Mhm.
of their cream, and they're like, the commercial is like, the more you use the cream, the lighter you get. So they're promoting.
I can't cancel them because of that. You know, they went right to the market. They know
Right.
that in Africa, they're one of the
Yeah.
biggest consumers of skin lightening products. I
you
mean,
gotta cancel the whole continent too if we're gonna do that.
Exactly.
Right.
You gotta cancel the cream. I mean, you know, I can't cancel them for that. If people don't want to use it, don't use it. You know,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
they know that it's a huge market for them, just as much as India consumes skin lightening products. But I can't cancel them for that. You know, you just have
Right.
to. You have to cancel the whole Africa. Like, I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. What about R. Kelly?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
canceled.
nah.
cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm raising this real high.
I can't listen to his music without I just
Sorry.
Cancel.
Yeah, I've never actually even listened to his
R.
music
Kelly?
before.
yeah.
Yeah, no, never listened to R. Kelly. Yeah.
And you know, I used to love his
y'all,
music.
I moved here in 2008, and I just, yeah. Anyways,
Oh,
I used
to-
you had to be here in 2005, trapped in the closet. Yes.
Yo, I used to love his songs, and now I'm just like, why do you have to be so? Why you
why you like the way you are? Yeah.
The only song I've ever listened to was "I Believe I Can Fly." That's the only song.
Oh, really?
Which one?
"I Believe I Can Fly."
Oh,
that's it?
graduation. Yeah, graduation song.
Oh no, I'm still
You
canceled.
wish you could fly right now.
Last person, Bill Cosby.
Oh, Bill, he gotta go.
Gotta go.
Bill
Sorry.
gotta go.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch his
Nah, I'll watch it. I still
What
watch
show?
it.
the
Even
one
though I
that
haven't
he,
watched it in
Watching
years.
Jack, 'cause they don't play it on TV.
The
Where you
Cos-
watching this on YouTube?
Yeah, nah, you just download it legally.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Allegedly.
Cause
You know,
recorded.
that's okay. Watch it that way, because he's not getting paid from
Yeah,
that.
he ain't getting
That's
paid
fine.
either.
Yeah. I got a quick question. So one thing I've noticed, so each of you actually raised your hands for a few of these things, but Jordan, you haven't raised your hand for the majority of the list I said.
I
What's up,
haven't.
Jordan?
I typically don't participate in cancel culture.
¿Por qué?
I do not. I still appreciate the art majority of the time. And in terms of Dove and the clothing lines, I don't really shop at H&M much, but if I needed something from there, I would still go. Not gonna lie. Yeah,
I feel
Okay.
like
these mosquitoes are killing me, bro.
the problem with cancel culture is that like everyone assumes that like y'all all have the same tolerance level, the same grievance level. So like something might bother Jamila that does not bother me at all, or not per se that it bothers me, but it's not enough to get me to like stop listening because it's not as personal for me, right? So yeah, and I feel like that's the problem with cancel culture. It's kind of like I feel like it's hypocritical when you say you're gonna cancel and then you don't cancel. There's a lot of people that don't say anything on that regard, so I feel like they're free to continue consuming on whatever they want because that's the life they live. And there's just something very judgy and kind of like hypocritical about judging someone based on their actions and then canceling it, even though it wasn't directly to you. I mean, again, like Miriam had pointed out, it depends on the severity of issues, but like in general, I feel like a lot of people like to play God and judge. No offense.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But I think just, you know, reverting back to the topic for today, which is it effective or toxic? From what I've heard so far, people are saying it can be effective, but are there any instances where you find it toxic?
You mean?
Like, I feel like one toxic aspect of cancel culture, it goes back to the whole second chances thing. If we were all gonna have kind of like a microscopic view of our lives as like celebrities do or people in the limelight do, then we will all be canceled. So, you know, similar to, you know, could you just point out everyone wants to judge? Are we being a little too harsh on these celebrities or these people? Like, are we, you know, that's basically where I'm going in terms of like the toxicity of cancel culture.
I believe we're projecting too much though, because we have too much expectation from these celebrities. That's one thing I keep repeating, because a lot of time, instead of us just living our lives and enjoying the art, we want them to be the way we want them to be, because maybe somewhere we couldn't be that way, I don't know. But I think, or I feel like we're taking these celebrities too serious. Because at the end of the day, I always say, they're just entertainers. But because they're popular and they're always in our TVs and shit, we think they're more than that. You're just an entertainer. You're not supposed to do more than that. Even when they're trying to talk serious and go online and talk about Black Power, this, Black Power, I'm like, we appreciate it and I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, let the professionals do their work. Let's allow those that really worked in that field, like law and municipal or laws and stuff like that, to really come in and talk to us so we can know who to vote, who not to vote for, what to put our money in, where not to put our money in. But if you pay attention to how we move or how we think we do in a revolution, it's based off of, oh, P. Diddy said, don't buy this. Or Ja Rule said, buy that. He did a taco publicity. I'm gonna go, like, whatever the fuck they're doing out there, if a celebrity and co-signing, people don't want to do it. And that's already a problem in itself, because you have to find your self-worth and be able to do your own choices and not expect these celebrities to represent you at any time, any shape or form, because they're not going to represent you the right way. They're not you. And these people, like I say, a lot of them are just entertainers. And on top of that, a lot of them didn't even go to school like that. So why are we expecting anything from them? Think about it. Those people that we're talking about, they don't even have a GED.
Oh shit.
R. Kelly didn't go to school. I'm sure Tory Lanez, maybe the most he did was maybe a year or two in college. All of them, none of them went to college. And if we're going to go off of society's norms and judge people off of, all right, what's your academics first? Because that's how we're going to judge people. These niggas ain't shit. None of them went to school or they didn't have the discipline for it. So why are we even expecting anything from them? You're just a singer. All right, go ahead and sing and make me dance. I'll pay you for it.
Hey, that's a valid point.
You got a point. Also, I have an example when it was toxic. When Twitter tried to cancel Nella Rose. Nella Rose.
Oh yes, that's
What?
toxic.
I will never
Who's
forgive
that?
Twitter
And
for
I know
that.
Odell's gonna come off mute because that's her favorite YouTuber. Odell, do you have anything to say?
Twitter tried to cancel her because she posted like, you know, problematic stuff about like Africans or like Somalians. I think some skin bleaching, like kind of like being like she didn't like her dark skin tone. I'm like, are you guys not embarrassed?
But
Ashamed of
I'm
yourselves?
sorry, I have to push back. I agree.
Oh, I remember that.
I agree. It was a bit like crazy that they tried to cancel her because I do like her as a person. But do you feel like you are not looking at it in an objective lens because you actually like her? Think about it. It's hard to cancel people you like.
I feel like the problem is you have to consider the fact that she is a young Black girl who grew up in the UK. Like the fact of the matter is that we have been socialized with a lot of things as a Black girl, and people try to hold her on the same level as white children. And it's kind of like their histories, the journeys they went through, what their experiences are so drastically different. Are we so confused that Nella Rose went on Twitter and really said those things?
Like that she doesn't like her skin?
Like she was kind of like, oh, dark-skinned girls with lashes look crazy, or spiders or something. She also made fun of Somalians. She also made fun of Somalians.
That people
it's old tweets. She was probably like 15.
I think so, yeah. She was a baby.
Do you know what us New Yorkers were saying? Me personally, from my experience as a New Yorker in high school and middle school, if you pulled up those stuff, I would be canceled. And most of my peers will be canceled too. Yeah. Like, we're in an age where like social media has us more connected and things are more permanent. And so there's more things to hold against people and be like, you did this, you did that. And for that reason, we're going to hold you accountable because it's here in our faces.
Yeah. I got two questions based on that. One, at what age do you feel like, okay, that's when you could start holding you accountable? Because to Nella Rose's example, you said she was in high school, she was younger, so maybe she didn't know what she was saying. But at what age you're like, okay, you knew what you were saying, no more excuses? That's the first question. And two, if you were a celebrity, do you feel like you would be canceled?
Not that she didn't know what she was saying. I don't think, like, I don't make that claim at all. Right. I think she is aware. I just think that, like, the meaning to her is different than it would be to someone else, if that makes sense. She knows what she's saying, but like, what does it actually mean? Has she deeped it? I feel like today at her age, it wouldn't be okay, because it's kind of like there's so many resources and we're having these conversations today versus back then those conversations were not held. You were called booty scratcher, porch monkey, all this stuff, cookie cruncher, whatever, for being dark skinned. And today it's kind of like there's more people, you know, there's these conversations where it's kind of like, this is not okay. You're being told repeatedly it's not okay. So unless you're living in the cave, like, there's no reason. If I was a celebrity today, would I be canceled? Based on my actions today, like with the things I say today?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Based on your actions today, would you be canceled?
No, because I wasn't on social media when I was younger too. Okay. So I wasn't like putting crazy stuff out there on the internet. Like, I wasn't saying wild shit on the internet. I was saying
interesting. I want to ask the same question to the rest of the people here. So Jamila, do you feel like if you were a celebrity now, you would be canceled?
I feel like, yes, I would be canceled. One, I know for a fact a lot of my peers in high school and middle school found that I was very outspoken, and I'll tell you how it is because I know how it's supposed to be. And also, growing up in New York and Maryland, when I first came to the United States, it was one of the toughest time in my life. And when dark-skinned girls became a trend, I was like, this is not a trend. This is my life. I live as a dark-skinned girl. I go through half the shit, and you guys want to fetishize me? Like, that's not okay. And I feel like a lot of the things that I used to say, and I had to delete some of my YouTube videos because of how I personally feel people would have perceived it as an attack, as opposed to me speaking out on the truth. And I don't know, I feel like people are like, oh, you should like speak more, but being older and wiser, I have refrained from saying a lot of stuff. And if you do follow me, you will probably never see me speak on my social media, because I don't want anyone to come in like 5-10 years like, oh, you did this and you did that, and I'm gonna sit there and look stupid, and I don't want that. So I try not to. But if I was a celebrity, canceled a long time ago.
Oh wow. Okay. Honesty, love it. Shaq, do you feel like you would be canceled? I feel like I know the answer to that, but
Nah, hold on. First of all, before let's start from the beginning. Before I'm a celebrity, we have to figure out a way to even let that go, because people can be wrong, and we can call them out on it, make them be accountable for it, and just move on. We don't have to just delete you. Think about your family members. Whenever y'all go through the fucking tribulations, you don't just delete each other. You might not talk for like a week or a month, and then you're done. Let's go back to being a family again. And I think if you're gonna choose a so-called celebrity or artist or whatever to be somebody that's gonna be amongst you, like along your journey with you through music or movie or whatever, you should hold them accountable for their actions. And if you can forgive them, all right. If not, that's your personal choice. It shouldn't be a group choice, because number one, the internet is making people feel like, oh, I'm living in America, he's living in Africa, why he's not following my morals?
Right.
That's already a problem. Now, that being said, if I was a celebrity, I would have been canceled a long time ago.
We know,
By the time I wake up, by my first tweet, I'm out.
So by his first breath, he'll be canceled.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Miriam, what do you think? Will you be canceled if you were a celebrity?
I don't know. If I were a celebrity, I probably wouldn't say much because, I probably wouldn't say much of anything. I probably wouldn't speak on many topics because people would cancel me if I were to speak my true opinion, because it wouldn't necessarily go. I wouldn't just, follow along just to follow along. I like to do my research before I support something or before I go against something. And a lot of the times people don't do their research when it comes to anything. They see something on social media and they're just like, oh shit, this person did that. Oh, well, they canceled. Girl, it would have took you like 5 minutes to go on Google and look it up and read some article just to realize, like, it's not really what social media portrays it to be. So if I were a celebrity and I were to speak on some things, I would probably be canceled. Yeah, I would be canceled. But that's why I said if I were a celebrity, I'd probably be quiet and not say much of anything because people wouldn't like me.
Oh, dang. Okay, that's a fair point. I think you also brought up an interesting point about some celebrities censoring themselves because they're afraid of being canceled. But yeah. Jordan, would you be canceled if you were a celebrity?
I think Jordan left.
Did he?
Yeah, wrote in the chat he had to go.
Oh, okay. My bad, Jordan. I guess we'll never know. But if I was a celebrity, I feel like I would go along with kind of what Miriam's saying. I probably, I don't know. It's kind of tough because I've definitely done some things in my life where someone would cancel me with quickness. But if I'm taking like today, the person I am right now, damn. Yeah, I'll just say yes, because I know someone somewhere is not going to like me and is going to be like, she's canceled. So that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. So yeah, I will be canceled. One last question before we end, because I know we're at 7:00 right now. Do you feel like canceling is only applicable to celebrities, or have you canceled people in your life, like regular people in your life?
Oh, now you're talking. You should have started there. Oh my God, I've canceled so many people in my life. I'm proud of myself for that. I don't even play around. Oh yeah, nah. As soon as you bring bad energy into my life, you're out. You cancel, you delete it, and we're done. And don't even shake my hand later on, because now you're being disrespectful. I already told you where I'm standing. Why are you even trying to fake it out? Like, let's not do that.
Okay, that's okay. Period. Jamila, have you canceled people in your life, or do you feel like canceling is only for celebrities?
I have a whole list.
Oh, shit.
I don't think I think the list is too long to add more people on it. But I have canceled a lot of people. One, because I've seen people where we have grown now and they're like, oh, you're so different. Like, oh my God, like you think you're better than me. And I'm like, no, I have a different way of thinking now. I think that in my life, I'm at a certain point in my life where I think I need to be a little bit wiser with my choices. And if you don't agree with that, and if you think that that's something that you don't see yourself doing, then I don't think you and I can walk on the same path. If you also see that my advancement in life makes you look bad, then we can't be friends. Like, if you see that me moving forward makes you not happy, then no. I always post a quote on my page, and this is one thing that I've always loved to post, and it's like, you're not in competition with anybody. Your only competition is who you were yesterday, and that's it. And I feel like a lot of people lose sight of that. I'd be quick to cancel you if you think I'm out to get you, or if you think me prospering in life hinders your prosper. No, honey. I will help anyone and everyone to move forward in life, but if you think that me moving on, you don't want that for me, then you're out. And don't let the door hit you.
Where the good Lord split you. Yes. All right. Khadija, do you feel, have you canceled people, you know, in your life, or do you feel like it's only reserved for celebrities?
Yeah, no, I've removed people from my life that I don't think need to be there anymore. So yeah.
Okay. And Miriam, same question to you.
Yeah, I've canceled people in my life, but to be honest, now that I look back on it, I somewhat regret it. Because I feel like I'm a person who has a low tolerance for obnoxious people. I have a low tolerance for people who are inconsiderate or ignorant, or, you know, people where I feel like, you know, some things are like common sense, but as I grow, I realize that common sense isn't that common, and my common sense may be different from someone else's common sense. So I'm learning to be a little bit more patient and not to, I'm trying to be patient and not to cut people off, you know, when they do one thing, but you know, because people aren't perfect. So I don't want to be the kind of person who just cuts you off and then you just end up alone. So I'm learning to be more patient, because when I look back on some of the people that I've canceled, I'm like, damn, I like this person. Now I think about it, I kind of miss this person. Is what she or he did worth canceling our whole relationship? I somewhat regret it now. So yeah, that's my whole take on it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And I mean, it also depends on, you know, the mindset you had back then. Back then, it would totally make sense. You're like, I'm canceling you because that's just the person I am today. But it's quite mature for you to look back and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have canceled them, or, you know. So, well, thank you so much for your answer. And thanks so much for everyone who answered. Thank you for participating in this conversation. I know we're at time right now, but does anyone have any final words before we end this discussion?
Oh, the question: anyone in your life?
Pardon me?
No, go ahead.
Have you canceled anyone in your
Me?
life?
Oh, child, yes. I've canceled people. Yes, I've canceled people in my life. I don't like canceling people that much, because there's just one mentor I had in my life who was like, be careful about burning bridges. And that's one thing that I try to be as careful as I can about, you know, burning bridges. But there's a certain point where I have a high limit, actually. I have quite a high tolerance for people. But if you cross that line, I really do not, like, you are forgotten. Like, so I have canceled very few people, but I have canceled some people in my life. Question. Any other questions or comments before we wrap up?
I was going to say something, but I'm starting to forget what it was.
Oh, really? Oh,
I was going to say something because I think Jordan said something earlier and I wanted to respond to it, but I didn't get a chance to, and now he's gone. But it was
about associating the art.
Yeah, it has something to do with canceling. I just feel like, you know, people, like what I want people to really know and understand, you know, Black people are not monolithic. You know, people think differently. You know, I hate when people see like, oh, you know, like, I'm sure most people didn't watch the RNC, but if you see some Black people on there, people will be shocked, like, oh my God, there's Black people who like Trump. Don't be so shocked, because your social media is only like 1% of the world. There is a whole nother side to it where there's people that think completely different than you, people that think on a completely opposite spectrum than you do. Like, that's why, you know, I somewhat miss Instagram when they used to have the popular page and it wasn't based on what you previously liked. It just had the popular page that was, you know, it was unbiased and you could see things from the other side, because some of these pages that I follow, because I just want to see how the other side thinks. And I follow some of these pages and I look at the comments and I'm just like, you think that everybody thinks like you? No, they don't. There are some people out there who are fine with what Tory Lanez did. There are some people out there who, there's people out there who love Trump and who follow his word. Like, I just think people need to be like people really need to separate social media from their real life. Like, it's what you see on social media and what happens in real life is completely different. Like, it's such a small percentage of what's really going on out there. Like, if you just have a peek on the other side, you'll just know there's people that think completely different than you do. Like,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very, very well said. Definitely. You have to be careful of that bubble that you were in, especially in social media where it shields you, like you said, from other opinions and all that. But thank you so much for that point, Miriam. And thanks to all of our guests today. I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. I certainly did. And I will see you guys next week for another episode of We Talk. Bye, everyone.
Bye.